so glad you're here joining us to hear more about different things that we can use on our daily walk. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from today. My name is Dr. EUGENIA, CATERNOR, and I'll be your host for today's episode of Transformation Talk podcast. As we all know, Transformation Talk is a platform to educate, to empower, to inspire, uplift, and promote change within our communities. We share ideas, knowledge, experiences, and insight on different topics pertaining to life and just general stuff. If you want to get involved, you can always reach us directly at 443 623 6080. You can also join us online through Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, Dr. Eugenia Cadeno. We also have a website, dreugeniacadeno.net, or email at dreugeniacadeno@gmail.com. There's so many ways you can reach us if you have a question or if you just need to talk to us about something or you want to join our team. Okay, today is another wonderful day, and I've been getting messages from everyone. Thank you all for taking the time to join us, taking the time to watch our episodes, and sharing your experience and a comment. Please make sure you share this information with other people because you don't know who will benefit from it. Share it to your friends, your family members, your colleagues, your neighbors, because you don't know what they're going through and you don't know what this message will do for them. We had a lot of people send us questions and send us topics that they would like to learn more about. So today we are here with a special guest who is, champion, excellent in real estate. She's been doing real estate for many, many years, and she knows the ins and outs of real estate. And also, she does investment in real estate. She's very passionate about what she does, and she would love, love, love to talk to us about how to invest and the benefit of investing in real estate. Because I know most of you have asked that question in the past. Remember, we talk about multiple streams of income. We talk about different ways that we can make money and we can have some side jobs going. So commercial, residential, or any type of real estate business is good. And I'm in it. I've had my ups, I've had my downs, but I'm not giving up. So if you want to hear more about real estate and how you can survive through real estate, this is a good time to join us and listen to our conversation. It doesn't matter where you are. Real estate is everywhere in the world, whether you're in the US, you're in Ghana, Nigeria, China, it doesn't matter. We can invest everywhere in the world, and I actually encourage everybody to think about, investing in different countries, different areas in the world for long-term returns. Okay. So with not much ado, I'm going to welcome our guest speaker for today, Madame Priscilla Yeboah, so she can join us and give us some more information about real estate and how we can also tap into the real estate world. So Miss Priscilla, you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. CATERNOR. That was such a nice introduction. Thank you. My name is Priscilla Yeboah. I have been in real estate. I've been a realtor in the state of Delaware for close to, I believe it's about 10 years now. And I have been investing in real estate. I believe that has been about 15 years now. So I started investing in real estate way before I became a realtor. And it's been a lot of ups and downs, like Dr. Eugenia talked about, but overall, it's been very beneficial to myself and to my family. So yeah, that's about it for now.
Okay. So I know you say you started investing before you became a realtor. Do you think that investing is what pushed you to become a realtor or not?
Um, yes, part of it was because I was already investing in real estate. I thought that if I'm doing this anyway, I might as well just, get into the real estate as a realtor, help other people to achieve the same thing that I'm achieving. And my biggest push is to help immigrants, a lot of immigrants, a lot of us, because sometimes I mean, you go out, you look at where you find shopping centers, you see Dunkin' Donuts, and all of these um, properties are actually owned by, sometimes they are owned by individuals, they are owned by LLCs, corporations. So I ask these questions: why are other people doing it, but we are not doing it? So that is what encouraged me to get into the real estate, to be a realtor and to help other people invest in real estate as well.
Okay. So, I mean, based on what you're saying, you don't need special background or education to become a real estate investor because you started investing before you even become a realtor. So, any one of us can start investing even though we don't have license to be a realtor or an investor.
You actually don't need a license to be an investor. You just need the knowledge. Like, you need to know what you're doing. You need to have the team around you. You don't need the actual license to be an investor. No.
Okay. Okay. So I know you mentioned a team around you because I know when you find a property, first you want to make sure that it's the right property.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some work to be done,
Mm-hmm.
to figure out, even knowing that this is a good property or not.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the people you need in your team to be able to make a good sale?
So, I would say that for probably for every investment, you have to have the people that you trust. You need to trust the team that you bring around you. You need a reliable, first of all, you need a reliable loan officer. So I have loan officers that I speak to at 8 o'clock at night. I have people that I'm able to call on a Saturday, on a Sunday. You need that kind of relationship. You need a good contractor, somebody that once you acquire the property, or even before you acquire the property, the person can go with you to go look at it to make sure that, okay, this is whatever repairs that you need to make. This is how much it's going to cost you. You need a good realtor like me. Yes, you need a good one, somebody that can tell you, listen, if you buy the property at this price, within the next 5 to 10 years, considering how properties are appreciating year over year, you should be able to sell it for a certain number. You need also, if possible, you need an appraiser, somebody that can give you an idea what the values in that neighborhood that you're looking at are going for. So these are like a gist of just a few people that you need in your bucket around you. And these are people that you want to make sure that you trust them as well, just so that you know that whatever they are doing or whatever information they are giving you, they have your back.
Well, that's very important because it's not a field that you can go in by yourself.
No.
Sometimes we get greedy and we want to have all the money, we want to keep all the money. But I mean, I thought about real estate or investment many, many, many years ago. but I also had the fear of, okay, well, I don't know how to decide which property is good. And I've also heard people lose a lot of money. So that's what had really stopped me from even investing or going into the real estate industry. But over the years, as I talk to more people, I start to get some ideas. I start to figure things out. So for me personally, I took a course. I had a real estate coach to
Mhm.
train me because I don't like to lose. I don't like failing. And when I see my money in the red, there's trouble. So I figure I'd rather pay somebody money to give me the knowledge I need to be able to go into the business, knowing that when I see something wrong, I can identify it, or even just having the knowledge of what different types of properties looks like, was helpful for me. So if you want to do this, please, if you can learn it on your own, great, but don't just jump into it because there are some basic things that you need to know in order
Mhm.
to close a good deal.
Yeah.
That's the key word, close a good deal. But there are different kinds of properties.
Mhm.
There's residential, I know there's commercial, as people invest in land, there's short-term rentals. I know now Airbnb is up, people are doing it. What would you recommend for a beginner?
So for a beginner, I will recommend that you start with the residential. So the residential, because before I started investing in real estate, I remember I had the first realtor that I worked with. The first realtor that I worked with. Um, my biggest thing was, okay. I called him and I said, hey, so what if I put this house for rent and nobody rents it? And I'll never forget what he told me. He said, for the rest of our lives until eternity, there will always be people that need a place to live. There will always be people that cannot afford to purchase their own homes. So they will always need a place to live. So that was something that I had at the back of my mind to um, know that even if I feel like, okay, this is a difficult industry that I'm in, having a lot of difficulty, but at the end of it, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. You are seeing that, okay, at the end of it, or if nothing else, I'm providing accommodation for somebody else.
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean, the long and short of it is, I would suggest that you start with residential, get a swing of how things work in residential. Then you move into the commercial, because commercial real estate is a whole different beast with when it comes to the financing, when it comes to agreements, everything with it is so different. So you want to get your feet wet with residential. At least you have some idea about how real estate works before you jump into the commercial.
That's a good idea. And
Mhm.
I'm sure even price wise, residential will depend on what you go into. It probably cheaper than commercial because commercial is usually a bigger space. So
Yes.
baby steps. Don't be too greedy. Just start low and get your feet wet, and then you can do the big girls and big boy stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a good advice. That's a good advice. As a beginner, don't go in too greedy trying to make that big deal. Just go small and watch yourself grow. Okay. But
Mhm.
so to find this residential property, what do you think is very important when deciding on their property? What is considered a good investment property? Because I know always people say, oh, this is a good investment property, or no, don't go into this one, no, don't do this. What do you think is the criteria to, you know, identify a good investment property?
Location, location, location. Location is your biggest thing. So, wherever you purchase your property, if you go around, like you drive around the neighborhood and whatever you are seeing. So, if you drive around your neighborhood and you're seeing a lot of people sitting outside their homes, doing nothing, they are um, smoking, they are doing whatever they do in, especially in the big cities. If you see people like that in that neighborhood, remember that that is the criteria of tenants that you're going to get. If you drive in a neighborhood and um, Dr. Eugenia, you talked about having a coach. I do have a coach as well. And the one thing that he told me was, if you drive in a neighborhood, you look at the cars in the neighborhood. So you see people, I mean, it's not like you're not expecting there to be, Lamborghinis or like luxury cars, but they are decent cars. Then of course you know that, okay, those are the kind of tenants that I'm going to attract. So example, if you are looking into the city, let's say you're looking into a city of like city of Wilmington, the tenants that you attract in the city of Wilmington is different from the tenants that you attract in, say, Middletown. So it depends on what you're looking for. I have friends that are investors as well that swear by being in the cities because they prefer, they think that that is going to grow. So that is for them. There are other people that will not do the cities but will do the suburbs. So it depends. Location is a very, very important thing. You need to be aware. Like in real estate, we have a D neighborhood, we have a C neighborhood, we have a B neighborhood, we have an A neighborhood. So you need to understand the neighborhood that you're looking into. The second thing is you also need to know your cash flow. So, of course, you need to understand the numbers. And that will bring in your loan officer. Your loan officer will explain to you, if you are purchasing the property at this price, this is how much you need to put down. And you can go ahead and work out what your return on investment is going to be. You need to also know what the market trends in that neighborhood is. So um, how fast a property can appreciate. You need to understand that. And that will, and a good realtor will be able to help you to understand that, okay, in this neighborhood, if you buy a property for say 200,000, within the next 5 to 10 years, that property can appreciate at 7% per year or 5%, whatever it is the number is. You also need to consider the condition of the property. If it is a very, very old property, understand that you have to do some work to it. How much work are you willing to do? And that is where your contractors will come in. How much money do you have to put in? That is where contractors come in. You also need to understand what your, I think I talked about the ROI and your cap rate. Sometimes when we are investing in real estate, the mistakes that some people make will be like, oh, I will pay my mortgage, I will get maybe say my mortgage is, I don't know, 1,800, I can get rent for $2,000, so at that point $200 is my profit per month. No, you need to include vacancy, because there'll be times when um, a tenant will move out and you have to fix the property. Then you have to put it back on the market. It takes a little bit of time. So you need to account for your vacancy. There are times when tenants will not pay you. You need to account for all that. So those are things that you have to take into consideration before you get into actually purchasing a property.
Yeah, that's really good. I've been there, and it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't fun. 3 months with no rent money. It's almost like all the profits that you made, it went right back into it. So you want to make sure that you have some reserve money. If
Mm-hmm.
not, you're gonna be behind your mortgage payments, and that's not gonna look good on your credit report. So
Yep.
make sure you have some extra cash somewhere. So for rainy days or for vacancies, you'll be able to keep the property up. It's
Mm-hmm.
nothing comes easy. Nothing comes easy. So based on that, what do you think, or what would you say was the most challenging deal you've done? And how did you overcome that obstacle?
I'm still going through challenges.
I can.
um, um, so I, I mean, when it comes to the deals, getting into the deals themselves, I haven't had any challenge as of yet. But once I acquire the property, as of now, I have a tenant that is not making the payments. And I have to figure out a way to work with her to understand where she is, why she's not making the payments, and get her to a point where it is comfortable for me as well as her. So sometimes, again, back to what I said previously, this industry, investing in real estate, it's not easy. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but it is, at the end of it all, you you benefit from it. It is beneficial. You will get some kind of benefit from it, and it's a lot of benefits from it. So I haven't, fortunately for me, I haven't had a lot of issues acquiring properties, but it's been a few issues with tenants. And it's always a matter of, you know what, understanding people and understanding where your tenants are and making sure that you are working with them and getting them to the point where it is beneficial to both you and to them as well.
That's true. And thank you so much. So somebody's asking a question. So is it true that some tenants know the law favors them and know how to take advantage over landlords? So they
Yeah.
use the system to get their free rents.
Yep, that is so true. So I've had like clients purchase investment properties, and when I have a client purchase an investment property, the first thing I tell them is don't take this as a hobby or don't take it as just one of those things. Understand that this is a business that you've gotten yourself into. So if you treat it as a business, you put your systems right. You know, when you know the laws yourself, because there are some tenants that are actually, I call them habitual tenants. They know the law. They know the laws of the state. They know the landlord tenant code. They know it better than some landlords. So, as a landlord, as a potential landlord, it is your responsibility to understand the laws of your state, the laws of your county, and put your systems in place. If you are able to do that, then at that point, they know that you know what you're doing. It's not like this is a hobby for you, but If you make this a hobby for you, those tenants are going to go over you, and it will not be funny.
Hmm. Well, so we need to educate ourselves.
Yep.
We can't just assume, hey, or we have the money, we're gonna invest without
And
knowing that.
just sit down and not do anything. Yes.
Yeah, because people know them their stuff, and I mean they will take advantage of it because they know
Yeah.
their rights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. So I know with me personally, I've had an experience where I got a property and we're supposed to fix it up, like do some rehab to it, and just getting permits took a long time, and
Mm-hmm.
it's almost 2 years. We're
Mm-hmm.
still paying the loan, we're still paying on the taxes, we're
Mm-hmm.
paying for basic things, insurance. And is that normal for a property to take that long for you to acquire it? And if so, is it a better idea to find property that's already fixed versus going into a property that have a lot of work to be done, that requires permits and contractors and all that extra stuff, especially if you don't have the necessary experience, the time and the money? What would be your recommendation?
So I personally don't like properties that I have to do too much work to. If it is a property that I have to do, I'm okay with doing some work, but not where I have to go acquire permits and all that. Now, if you have to acquire permits, again, you have to know what you're doing. You have to have relationships with the contractor. You have to have a relationship with the architect. If it means that you are actually, you know, going for the permits and all that, you need to have a relationship with all these people to make sure that they know what they are doing. Now, remember, these people are not the ones paying the mortgage. They are not the ones paying the interest or the um, insurance, like you said. They are not the ones paying it. It's coming out of your pocket. So you want to make sure that they are doing what they need to do. You need to put in the time. So again, like I said, this is not a I'm going to buy it and leave it for somebody else to run it and to make sure that the person is doing the right thing. I have to be involved. I have to know what I'm doing. If there's any delays, I have to understand why there was a delay. What do I need to stop this delay? Is there any way I can fast track it, knowing that there's been a delay in the past? Is there any way I can fast track it just so that I get myself back on track? Um, I would suggest that, like, if you're acquiring a property and if it's the first time you're doing it, probably do something that just needs the least amount of work. You don't need a lot of work, whereby you need permits and architectural designs and all that. You can do it as you get more experience into real estate. But once you start it, you just want to get something that, you know what, let me just get somebody into the property and I can start getting my money back.
Yeah. Okay. That's good because that was a lesson learned. But thank God my coach was very helpful, and he really did a lot of work. Without him, I don't think I'll be able to even get that project done. So make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, and I'm sure somebody will ask, okay, if we have to put all this work and money into acquire real estate, why don't you invest that money in other things? Based on your experience, do you think real estate is still one of the best ways to invest your money?
I'm very biased towards real estate,
Yeah.
and part of it is because I think it is the only investment that you it's physical, and also even if it's your personal property, it is the only investment that you get to live in whilst you're building the equity.
Mm.
It is one of the investments that over time you are able to sell and make money off of it. You get tax benefits from investing in real estate. If you were doing it in stocks, you will have to pay capital gains taxes. But on real estate, depending on how much of a gain that you make, you are able to take all those gains tax free. You are able to borrow against your real estate. So I invest in the stock market. Don't get me wrong. I invest in it, but I do a lot more in real estate than in the stock market for these reasons.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, and most of us probably owns our own home, and we can tell how their appreciation is, whether it's going
Hmm.
up, whether it's going down, and it will give us an idea on how important it is to invest in real estate.
Hmm.
Even if you live in an apartment and you want to invest, do you think it's better to stay in an apartment and get a property for investment, or do you think it's better for you to use the property for your own um, living and then you invest later? Because I know people that live in an apartment, but they're like, oh, there's money in investment, so let me get a property and rent it out versus them living in there. What's your take on that?
So I think for that, it is a personal choice. I started by purchasing my primary residence. Personally, to me, I feel like it is easier if you do it with your primary residence. And when I got my first property 20 years ago, nobody told me this, but you buy your first property like you're living in an apartment right now. You buy your first property, maybe it's a townhome, something very small. You live in it for 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years. You are able to move out of that property and buy another property, and the bank will still recognize that second property as your primary residence. So the second property becomes your primary residence. The first property is now your first investment property. Now remember, because it is your primary residence, you only need to put down 3.5%, 5%. That's all you need to put down. If you want the investment route, then you need to put down 15, 20, 25%. So if you go this route, now every year and a half, 2 years, you can repeat it. You move to the next and you just let the your bank know, hey, I am upgrading. This place is too small. I have a job that is too far away. I'm doing this, whatever your reason is. You can keep doing this over and over again and building in the process, building your real estate portfolio and putting down 3.5%, 5%. That is all you put down. Instead of putting down 15, 20, 25%.
Hmm.
Because for the 15, for the 20, 25%, that is a lot of money. So if you are looking at like a $200,000 home, which we don't even have those homes anymore. But if you're looking at a $200,000 home, 20% of that, that is 40,000, and that is just your down payment. You don't have your closing costs yet. So this way, it makes it easier. It takes a longer time to build your portfolio the way I'm talking about. However, you don't have to put in that much money if you do it the way I'm talking about. So it is a personal choice. And if you have the money to do it, great. But if you don't have the 20% to put down the whole time, you probably have to do it one at a time. You could actually do it maybe a year and a half, or maybe about a year. You should be able to do it.
Wow. See, that's news to me. So, now you
You
can.
see, so that was something I didn't know I could do, because I tell people if I knew I could do that, I'm telling you, I'll be a millionaire by now. But I didn't know, and probably God has a reason why He didn't let me know it. But I'm grateful to have all that knowledge right now to be able to pass it on to somebody, or be able to help other people to do what I couldn't do, or to do more than what I can do.
Okay. So to actually clarify that, I can use my primary residence now
Mm-hmm.
as an investment property,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to tell the loan company that I'm going to use it for investment property and just get a second home.
Mm-hmm. All they'll ask you is a lease agreement.
Okay. All
So
right.
you give them a lease agreement, and then tell them, okay, so it works. It works better if you have a smaller home. So say you have a townhouse, maybe 1,200, 1,500 square feet townhouse. You can tell them, listen, my family is growing, and I want to, this space is, we are having a hard time in this space. So I want to get something bigger than what I'm currently in. I'm going to rent this one out and then get something bigger. That actually works at the reverse. If you have a bigger home, you can actually tell them you want to downsize.
Okay.
So if you have a bigger home, and your um say your children are all out of the home, you want to downsize, you are able to do that as well.
All right. So now it becomes two mortgages. So if let's say your income doesn't support two mortgages, or the total amount or the cost of their homes, I mean, would that be an issue? Or because they know you're going to use it for an investment, they don't care about your income being low?
So your income will be used for the second property. Remember, the first property is supposed to be an investment property. Remember that you already have a lease agreement. So, as far as they are concerned, that first property is going to be paid by the rent that you are collecting.
Mm.
So, you don't need to make double your income to be able to qualify for both homes. That is the reason why they ask you for the lease agreement.
Well, lease agreement for whoever is going to rent the property.
That's correct.
Wow. Good information. You'll be hearing from me soon. I didn't know that, because
Yeah.
I
There's
know
so listen, there are so many tips and tricks in this real estate business that you need to know who you are talking to.
West. Oh, wow. Go ahead. I'm getting very excited now.
Okay. I'm glad.
Wow.
Okay.
So I guess, I mean, how do we get more information about all these tips? And I mean, are you a real estate coach? Do you offer those what is it called? mastermind in real estate where you can actually give us some of these tips, because as I told you, I don't like to lose. I don't like to be in the red or fail. So I need it. I need somebody to kind of show me all the tricks, so I'm doing it right.
I don't do I'm not a coach. I don't do any mastermind or anything. I just look out for my brothers and sisters. That's all.
Where somebody
So
says,
I'll be
yes,
happy to help
I'm,
whoever wants has any questions. I'll be happy to help. But um I really don't do any coaching or anything like that now.
well, I mean, I guess I can hire you to do me some favor. I mean, I don't know. Everybody here, I'm sure you want more information on the right way of doing this. But my first thing is, if there's somebody that can help us, guide us, lead us the right way so we don't make mistakes and still acquire the property that we need, I
Hmm.
mean, I'm willing to pay for it. So
I
think
mean,
about,
I'll take your money. I'll take your money if you offer it, but
oh,
I really don't charge because listen, if I like I told you, if I knew this information 20 years ago, it would have been a whole different ball game. But knowing it right now, we are still able to change things. We are still able to help other people to acquire it. I want to be able to see 5 people, 10 people come together and buy a shopping center. I want to, and like I'm looking at it, and it is like they are all Africans or they are all immigrants or wherever they are coming from. That is what I'm looking to see. That is like my biggest thing. Um, this past week we went to I say we went to visit my children somewhere in Ohio. My I have a few assets out of state, and we met a gentleman that is from Ghana and is doing a lot of things like buying land for $10,000 and building it from scratch. And I'm looking at these things and I'm like, wow, people are doing it. So all that we need is the knowledge. All that we need is to know who to talk to, right? Because there are people already doing it. We don't need to pay thousands of dollars for anything. Um, I had a listing appointment this morning. I'm talking to this lady, and she wants to be in invest in real estate, and she was talking about, oh, there's a mastermind, there's a coach, and they were charging her $30,000, and she ended up paying 7,000. I'm looking at her. I'm like, seriously, you paid $7,000 for information that you can freely get. And I gave her just 2 websites to go to. And she was like, wow, Priscilla, like, this is it. Like, I found out about this website after I had paid the 7,000. And I said, this is free information that you don't need to pay thousands of dollars for anything. You need the information, yes. If it means that you need to get a mentor, you know, take the mentor out for lunch, take them out for coffee, whatever it is, and pick their brains, help and like let them help you understand what you need to do. They are books, they are um, websites, there are things that you can do to help you start. But you don't need to pay thousands of dollars for anything. I mean, I don't like to lose, like you're saying, I don't like to lose money. I don't like to pay for something that I know I can get it if I put in the work and the time.
wow. Well, we'll be calling you. We'll be calling you
No worries,
because
I'll be here.
free services, dear. Who doesn't want it?
No worries.
Yeah. So please, how can we reach out to you? What's your number? We all everybody. Do you want her number? Do you guys want Miss Priscilla's number?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Please. So everybody say.
So
So
okay,
do you have it?
my
That we.
contact, I gave my contact information. So my phone number is 302
Okay. I'm gonna put in the chats too.
898
Mm-hmm.
6379.
6379.
Yes, ma'am.
Your phone is gonna be going off. Okay. I just put her number there. 302-898-6379. Miss Priscilla.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and just let her know you heard her from Transformation Talk, um, and make sure you let her know how you're doing and what she can do to help you. But I'm very interested in having 10 people coming together to buy a shopping center.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, is there a criteria or, I mean, something special we have to do in order to make that happen?
So I mean, of course, it is the money, right? So if you the 10 people come together, you first decide on what you want to buy, and then look at where do you want to buy it. Then from there decide, okay, if we are, say we are buying a shopping center for, I don't know, 2 million. 20% of 2 million is 400,000. So for each person, your down payment is 40,000. So you're all coming together to buy this. um the first thing is understanding exactly what the terms of the group is going to be. That would be the biggest thing, because acquiring the property can come later, but you want to understand, okay, if we are 10 people coming together, how are we going to split expenses? How are we going to split profits? What will we do um, with repairs? Do we have an exit strategy? You need to come together and understand it amongst yourselves first before you even go and acquire the property. Acquiring the property, I would say, is the easiest thing to do, because now once you know what you're about, what you want to do, then going out to find it is easier.
Okay. All right. That's good to know because I'm ready to go big. So if anyone is interested in joining me, please text me 443-623-6080. I'll add you to the list. And I understand sometimes some people are also like passive investors, meaning they just put their money in there. So if you have some 100,000 sitting somewhere, you can bring it. We'll all put it together and go big. Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Priscilla is going to walk us through it. She's going to help us free of charge. Free or free. 3.99.
The fact
Yeah.
that you are insisting on this free now,
Hey, because if you have free stuff,
yeah.
everything is so expensive, especially with this economy. So for you to have somebody who is willing to help you or share their knowledge with you. I mean, like what I'm doing here right now, I'm doing it for free. This is time that I could be using to do something else that
Okay.
will say bring me money, but
Yeah.
but I'm also sharing my knowledge so other people will also learn from
Okay.
different things because
Yeah.
God have given me the wisdom. I've acquired knowledge from listening to other people, from reading. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
also giving to you all as a form of service.
Mm-hmm.
So it's service that I'm offering. And if we can all come together and share our knowledge so other people will also benefit from it, I feel
Yeah.
like at the end of the day,
The
we'll
price
all
for offering.
become where we are now. We'll all become better people.
The bill, the cash app. You
If
can't keep on ready to share to. Okay, I'll choose.
mute yourself, but if we all become self-centered and we're not sharing the knowledge we have, then it's not. But you want to learn from other people. You want other people to help you, but you're not willing to help anybody.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much for even taking the time to come and talk to us about investing in real estate, and also willing to help us if we have any questions or guide us into the right way to do it, because lack of knowledge my people perish, and it's because of the knowledge that we are lacking, that's why we are making so many mistakes.
Yeah.
Or that's why we are afraid to even go into certain areas that could potentially benefit us. So please, this is a safe platform. This is a very group of people that at least we can count on each other, because we are all here to learn. We are here to empower each other, and we are here to lift each other up. And it's just beautiful to hear that, oh, Miss Priscilla helped this lady or this group of people, and now they have been able to acquire this property. Yes, we are making history. We are building generational wealth, and also impacting other people that are around us. So please don't just come on the line and just listen. Make sure you're actually doing something to get you to the next level. So let's say you live in an apartment or you're renting a house. This is a good opportunity for you to say, let me talk to Miss Priscilla on how do I acquire my own property? How do I buy my own home? So I also become a homeowner. And then we can use her strategy of, hey, now I've lived here a year and a half, I've lived here 2 years. Now I can use that as a rental property and upgrade to a bigger home, you know. And sometimes we just don't know. I didn't know this, but if I knew this 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I'm sure I will have over 10 properties, 3.5% versus 20%, that's a huge difference
Yeah.
of what we need to put down. So we are learning. And I mean, I wish we can have you more so we can get more tips from you. But I know we have the numbers, so we'll reach out to you. We'll leave the floor open. If anybody have any questions, we can take one or two questions before we end.
I
Um,
have a question. I'm sorry. Go,
Okay.
go ahead, sir.
oh, I had a question about the two websites that you gave to that lady instead of her paying the $7,000. If you could drop the websites to us as well.
Um, One place is Bigger Pockets. So Bigger Pockets is I call it like the Facebook for real estate. So on that website, you will meet contractors, you will meet loan officers, anybody relating to real estate, you're going to meet them there. They do have podcasts, so you get to listen to investors that seasoned investors that have done it. And sometimes I listen to them and it encourages me that, listen, if somebody else has been able to do it, it means that it's possible that I can also do it. And then the other website that I gave her was actually the Real Estate Investors, I believe it's Investors Association. So depending on what state you are in, every state has their own real estate investment. This lady is actually in Delaware, so I think for Delaware it was Del Ria or something like that. You I believe there's an annual fee to join, but that group actually helps you to get to meet um, local investors as well as contractors, loan officers, and all those people. And that group is actually in Delaware, so you get to meet people that are your neighbors or live around you and you're not even sure what they do, but they are investing in real estate.
Wow. So I guess if you live in a different state, you just need to Google real estate
For your
association.
state, yes.
So you can figure out what
Yeah.
they
How
have
you
to.
can join, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but I think, joining such an organization, even though you may have to pay money, the knowledge that you get from those um, people will be worth it. So they
Yes.
are
Yes.
experts in the industry, and I'm sure they will be more than happy to guide you and help you. So one of the things that I think would be very helpful to have a mentor of somebody
Mm-hmm.
who is seasoned in the real estate investment industry and see what they've done, because I've met a few of them and these people are making millions of dollars, and
Yeah.
to them it's like another day. And
Yeah.
I've talked to them, I've seen
Oh,
challenges. Some of them became, really broke, that they even went through bankruptcy before they're able to get themselves up again. So for me, that's just an encouragement to me that no matter what you have to go through, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So
yeah.
don't give up so quick. My property that took a long time to even get the permit. I mean, so many times I wanted to give up. I wanted to be like, no, that's it. I don't want anything to do with it. And on this other side, I'm like, you know what? It's part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have the right people coaching you and guiding you, trust me, you get to the end of the tunnel. And as the property stays there, it's also appreciating. So
Yeah.
it's not just losing. You may be losing money, but you may be gaining equity on it. So
Yeah.
then that's what kept me going. I'm like, okay, even though I'm paying all this money every month, at least I also saw the appreciation. So it was kind of a balanced thing. So I said real estate is a great business, and if you are interested, please get more information. Talk to Miss Priscilla. Join those resources that she gave. And we are always here to support you. We are always here to guide you to the right people so you're not making the same mistakes that some of us have made in the past.
Yeah.
So it says so those permit people do the intention and make people life hello. Haha. So yeah, so sometimes the people that give permits, I mean, they can really pull your legs, but don't give up. It's part of the process, and always make sure you are building a network. As Miss Priscilla said, you need to have a team. So you may have a team of people that know somebody over there that can make the permits process even faster, expedites it for you. So make sure you have the right people in your team. Well, thank you all for joining. I may be able to take one more question if somebody else have a question that they want to ask.
I just wanted to know, the lady already answered part of my question. I wanted to know how to um, access the list of these properties that could potentially be investment properties, or do we just ask around?
Um, let me try and confirm and understand your question. You want to know the list of investment properties that are available in your area. Is that what you're
How,
asking?
yes, how can one get access to such lists if they exist? I'm familiar with the usual Redfin, Zillow, so on and so forth, but are those the only ways to get access to the listings?
So, depending on where you are, you will have to speak to a realtor. So a realtor can, be sending you the list of properties. Now you have to understand, you have to give her a price point or a price range of what you're looking at. You will have to give her him or her what exactly you are looking for. Am I looking for multi-families? Am I looking for single families? Am I looking for townhomes? What are you looking for? So you need to understand what you're looking for and give that information to the realtor. The realtor is able to get it from the MLS. Now, the other thing is once you start this and you get to meet other people or get to know other people doing the same thing, you will get to a point where now people will start sending you properties that are not even on the MLS. So like today I told you that I went on a listing appointment. So now I have that. I know the lady is looking to sell it. I have that listing in my pocket. If I have somebody looking and I know the person is looking for a property that is what that lady has, right away I'm going to connect the two of them. So the one thing you have to do once you start this, let's say you do the first one, what you have to do is make sure like every conversation that you have with anybody, just let them know, hey, by the way, I'm investing in real estate. So if you know somebody that is looking to get out of their property or to sell their property, please let me know. I will um I have cash to pay for it, or I have um a loan officer that is ready to go within 2 weeks or so. So your biggest thing, and to answer your question, the biggest thing is just again get yourself the team, which includes a realtor, and he or she will be able to give you the list that is currently on the market. And if anything doesn't come on the market but somebody's looking to sell it, it's an off market deal, you'll be able to get it as well. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So somebody was asking, what states are you licensed in?
Delaware and the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay. So what if we find something in Maryland or Virginia? Would
I'll
you?
be happy to help. I'll be happy to um, help you find the right realtor to work with. The loan officers that I work with work in all 50 states. So they'll be able to finance wherever you want to be. However, when it comes to finding the realtor, I'll be happy to look for a realtor for you.
Okay, that's good to know. So make sure you reach out to Miss Priscilla. So we did really well today, and there is a second part to this episode, which is going to be on the loan, how to get your loan or your um, mortgage for your investment property. So I believe in 2 weeks, we'll have another speaker who is going to share all the tips and the different ways to get financing for your property. So don't miss it. It's going to be in 2 weeks, which is, let me see. So you can mark your calendar. It will be September 4th. So don't forget, September 4th, same time, 8 p.m. We'll have a speaker to talk to us about how to get the financial part taken care of. Now that we've gotten the information on how to get the property, now we have to pay for it. So the next speaker will give us more tips and help us through that process so we don't make mistakes. So we don't go and we get denied. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure seeing all of you and hearing from you and Miss Priscilla. God bless you. This is wonderful, and thank you for your time and knowledge that you've shared with us. I mean, it's priceless, and I'm
Thank,
grateful, and I'm sure everyone on this platform is grateful. And thank you all. Make sure you share all this information with other people in your circle. Try to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So in the future, all this thing will come to you directly. Once we finish everything, we will send it to you. So please look out for the YouTube, Facebook, Dr. Eugenia CATERNOR, and Instagram. Make sure you follow us so we can continue sharing information with you all. So, if nothing more is to be said, I would like to say good night and everybody have a good evening. And God willing, we'll meet again in 2 weeks. Bye bye for now.
thank you for having me. Bye.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for coming.
Okay. Bye bye. You're
Bye.
welcome.